Incoming border czar Tom Homan vowing to follow through on President-elect Trump's plan to get tough on illegal immigration during his visit to the border in Eagle Pass, Texas. While speaking to the men and women of Border Patrol, Homan made clear the top priority of the deportation efforts will be removing criminal illegal immigrants. Watch.
Let me be clear. There is going to be a mass deportation because we just finished a mass illegal immigration crisis on the border. Don't test us. The nation wants a safe country. We've had enough crime in this country, illegal alien crime. It's time to end it and stop it. President Trump's committed to it. He's committed to securing this border.
William La Jeunesse is in Lancaster, California, with the very latest and all the details for us. Hey, William.
Well, clearly that's a priority of Homan and the incoming administration. Now, many illegal immigrants do end up in state prisons like this one outside of Los Angeles. And yet, every month, thousands of criminal aliens fall through the cracks and are not deported. In fact, the DHS audit found some 300,000 criminal aliens cycle through the justice system each year. More than 50,000 are in state prisons. Thousands more are in local jails, and they're being released every day. Some are in sanctuary cities and states like California, where ICE deportations fell by 90% under the President Biden, angering many sheriffs who feel shackled by sanctuary laws that prohibit calling ICE.
I cannot hold on an ICE detainer. It absolutely must be a federal warrant that a judge has signed to keep that person in custody. And the reality of that is it's impossible.
So case in point, gang member and Salvadoran illegal immigrant Carlos Carranza. Los Angeles and Santa Clara police ignored nine ICE detainers to hold and deport Carranza. Released, he went out and stabbed and killed Bambi Larson 5 years ago.
We are not here, nor should we be here, to shield admitted gangsters or violent criminals, regardless of immigration status.
So California Attorney General Rob Bonta disagrees with that, setting up a clash with Homan.
The cooperation under SB 54 on civil immigration enforcement will not be forthcoming because it would violate the law if it were.
I've said 100 times in the last week, don't cross that line. It is a felony to knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from immigration authorities. Don't test us.
You know, so there are solutions, you guys. You can effectively put ICE agents inside the jails to identify and deport those individuals who are deportable. And secondly, you can put immigration judges in the prisons, and effectively they make sure that that individual, when they are released, they can be taken to the airport and be deported. All it takes is a will and a desire to do this stuff. The solutions are out there, and we believe Homan will pursue it. Back to you.
I believe you're right. He will. All right, William La Jeunesse, thank you very much. So, Emily, there's 1.4 million illegal immigrants in this country, and they've only been able to detect some of them, the gotaways that have gotten away, 13,000 or so that have, in fact, been found. So you've got illegal immigrants all over this country. You've got Democrats that are afraid that there's going to be mass deportation. There will be, but you have to be a criminal. There are so many criminals in this country, and they get released after they've offended illegal immigrants. Laken Riley is a perfect example of why this is an urgent problem that it seems that this administration has ignored until now. What do you see for the future?
Yeah, exactly that. There's 660,000 of those illegal immigrants that have criminal histories. Yeah. And I'm not just talking about the crime of crossing the border, as in violent criminal histories. So the one that William La Jeunesse put up there, the one that murdered Bambi Larson, his background included assault on a police officer and tons of violent felonies. In addition, there were the 9 times that ICE tried to get him, there were detentions issued, but this was on the basis of multiple violent felonies. So, of course, the left is going to cry and try to paint it into their box. But the reality is there are many American citizens who are under deep threat from the established violent histories of these individuals. And, of course, having mayors like Mayor Johnson in Denver swear to protect his citizens from this do no good, because it's exactly those citizens that are being harmed by this. And I note, final point, that when we talk about Homan's, sort of like commitment to President Trump's agenda. But the reality is he's just committed to enforcing the law. And that's what we've been missing these last 4 years. There wasn't a dearth of options here. The dearth was in the enforcement. And I hope to God that in that battle with the sanctuary cities at play, that indeed, as he says, don't test us, the American people have overwhelmingly polled in support for this to utilize all resources to show not anymore, not this time.
You're right.
American citizens are the priority.
The American people have spoken, David, on November 5th. And let me tell you that Biden and Harris have themselves to blame for not getting reelected into this White House. That is a huge win for the Republicans because they know very well why they were voted in. 2 reasons. Number one, the economy, and number 2, illegal immigration.
Right.
And the Hispanic vote, as you know, was extremely helpful, especially in states like Pennsylvania. The Hispanic vote helped get this through. It's legal Hispanics in this country, and I know many of them personally, including my mother, who cannot stand the situation. They waited in line, they came in legally, and now there's illegal immigrants that are not only crossing borders illegally, are open borders, I should add, but they're committing crimes, and they're repeating the crimes. So the recidivism rate is astronomical, and nothing's being done, and we the taxpayers are paying for it.
Well, we're paying for it in different ways, too, both the victims and the resource and the monetary costs. In addition to that, and to William's word, he said the word will to do this.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of issues. We have the supremacy of the federal government when it comes to immigration, placing those agents within the police departments. We also have the sheriffs around the country that want to cooperate. And we have the cowardice of some of these police chiefs around the country who won't go up against the mayors, these mayoral agencies that's what they are. And they make these decisions. They need to stand up for law and order. We've got to have that. And to the people, there's a 2-stage threat. The politicians are the first stage by allowing this to happen. Democrats, I don't care, or otherwise. And the second stage is what that criminal does to an individual on a street, in an apartment building, or wherever.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at New York City and what has happened here, and then you hear about these gangs that are actually infiltrating these hotels that were giving them free housing. So Trento Aragua, for example, they could be here in New York City. They could be at the Roosevelt Hotel, where several illegal immigrants and their families are living for free. So, Trump has promised that he's going to clean up cities such as New York City. Do you think it's too late? How do you find all these people that are hidden?
It needs to be law and order, and they need to come in and they need to deport these individuals. But the biggest issue I have here is that defrauding the government, that is a federal offense. And the biggest offenders have been the Biden-Harris administration by allowing these illegal immigrants in. It has cost just in 2023 alone, $150 billion government services for illegal immigrants. It'll be about $56 billion to deport them, just the ones that came through the last year. This is the biggest fraud for the American taxpayers ever.
Yeah, Nicole, I mean, so much damage has been done economically and to so many people who have been killed by these illegal immigrants that are here. How do you reverse this mess?
I mean, it's absolutely reprehensible and disgusting. But do you know who's most excited about Trump's victory? The ICE and Border Patrol agents who can now actually do their jobs.
Yeah.
It is so demoralizing to know that your country is going down the tubes and you have no right to exercise your law enforcement authority. So I know that they're very much looking forward to it. And thank goodness, Governor Abbott, he did go up against the federal government. And he said, we're not going to do this.
Yep. No, absolutely.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.